Well, our fall series continues as we look to be this theme of being a part of Christ's church. Today, our first time that we look at is being His. We look at this theme of being His today and next week as well. But what does this mean, being His? His who? God? Jesus? Both. What does it mean to know that we are Christ's disciples in faith? Often these questions are left unanswered, and yet as we celebrate Thanksgiving, we might be confused as to why we should do this and whether and if we are really His at all. Or what often happens is that we do not see the giver of the blessings which we receive. And what often most happens is we take it all for granted. There's a story about a man who was lost in the woods for many hours. His family reported him missing as he had wandered away from a hiking group to see something in the woods. Eventually help was called in. Police on foot, airplanes flew overhead, and even divers were brought in to see if his path left by the lake was a clue as to where he was. His family and community gathered together and they prayed for his safety. Later on, after his safe return home, the man described the experience. He shared how frightened he was and how he had even finally knelt down and prayed, asking for help. Someone asked, well, did God answer your prayer? Oh, no, the man replied. Before God had a chance, a guide came along and showed me the way out. Sometimes we look for our blessings from God and do not see what really is before us. Like that man, many people are blind to the many blessings that God daily gives us over and over again. For today, just think about it. You woke up and there's the sun shining. And there are many people today, I'm thinking people in Manitoba and Winnipeg, that are shoveling snow. Do we give thanks to God? We hear the birds chirping and we see beautiful flowers and trees. Yes, we have a rose that just came out in the yard yesterday. Crazy. But do we give it a moment's thought that God has given us those blessings? Many people grumble about having to eat the same old cereal, forgetting the many that would gladly exchange places with them and eat anything for breakfast. There are people who complain about their jobs, forgetting that there are many people who would be just grateful to have any job, or even to have the bodily strength to work. There are many people who complain about their lack of money, forgetting that they spend more on entertainment each month than many people around the world earn as income. And then we wonder why the sacred holiday is celebrated in many homes across the nation. Maybe it has something to do with the should, would, could. We should give thanks because Jesus would want us to, even though what we have we pay for it ourselves. But there is hope beyond the sense of entitlement, because when we reflect upon what others, not only in our city experience, but within our country of Canada, we ought to give thanks. And as Christ followers, we choose to make a difference. Why? Because we are His disciples in faith. Our reading from Luke 17 takes place between the small town and region of Samaria and Galilee. And Jesus and His disciples are en route to Jerusalem. You see, they come into a little village and there's a group of 10 men suffering from different forms of skin diseases, all known collectively usually as leprosy. These men did not swarm Him or come close to Jesus because they knew the social laws would not allow this. They were diseased men. But they knew of Jesus and what He could do for them. Because what He could do could and would change their lives forever. How do they know about Jesus? Well, they have been living in the streets because that's the only place they can go. Families cannot have them. They cannot be interacting with their family at all. Or people on the street are told to stay away. Part of it would be so that others would not get the disease because they did not understand what the diseases were. They would have probably been suffering from these diseases for a long time because diseases of the skin did not have any cure, but were causes and their causes were not understood fully. Infections would have run through them in time, leading to eventual death. But they would suffer a long time. And so they were treated as if they were dead, cut off from society, including family. They'd have to wear old ragged tattered clothes, have their heads uncovered in the hot sun, so that others could see them. They would also cover their lips, as disease would also be in their mouths, and all would lead to the public humiliation. Because they would have to shout, "Unclean, unclean," so that people would not go near them. But these 10 men knew about Jesus. Because they walked on the streets and they called out to him, "Jesus, Master, have mercy on us." They knew who he was because they had heard about him. They did not specify what they wanted to do, but they asked Jesus for his mercy. Jesus could see that they needed physical healing in order to live, to be welcomed again in community. But they would only be officially welcomed in the community by the local priests. So Jesus tells them to go and talk to the priest. Well, how did they go? They're not welcome at this point. But as they're walking away, boom, they're healed. That quickly. 9 of them did exactly what Jesus told them to do. They went and saw the priest. But one of them, one man, a Samaritan man, looked down at his body and he sees something amazing. Something he has not seen in years. He is whole. He is well. He's healed. And when he looks down and he leaves the other 9 who are gone, and he turns around and he praises God in a loud voice so that everybody could hear him, and then he gets right near Jesus and he falls down and he says to Jesus, "Thank you." That's all he needed. Thank you. Jesus didn't know these men by name or who they were, what they believed. He healed their physical problem as he saw it. In response, a person who had probably heard about the man Jesus, and he stopped. One man. Jesus asked around who had been watching, passers-by, disciples, friends, and family, anybody who had seen what had happened with these 10 men. And he says, "Weren't there 10 people clean? Where's the other 9? Was none of them found to return and give praise to God except this foreigner, this Samaritan man?" And so what he does is he turns to this man and says, "Get up and go on your way. Your faith has made you well." Well, the others had also been healed. But why was Jesus acknowledging the face of the Samaritan man as the reason for being healed? Was it because he did not know what he had to do, or had been shy, or did he not understand fully what had happened? What happened to those other 9? Maybe they had debated amongst themselves that Jesus would be able to do this, and that's why they said, "Have mercy upon us, Jesus." The Samaritan is the only one who believes in him. He's heard about him through the conversations of others as they walk by on the street. 10 asked for mercy. 1 gave thanks. What about the others? Maybe they had excuses which might even be used today in some form. Someone has made this list suggesting reasons why the 9 did not return. One wanted to see if the cure was real. One wanted to wait to see if it would last. One said, "I'll talk to Jesus later." One said, "Oh, I never really had leprosy." One said he would have gotten well anyway in time. And when one got to the priest, they gave the glory to the priest. And one said, "Oh well, Jesus really didn't do anything. Any rabbi could have done it." And one said, "I'm already much improved." Why did only one man cleansed from leprosy return to Jesus? 10%, 1 of 10. Wouldn't it be amazing to see right now how many people in Canada today and tomorrow will be offering thanks to God? Would it be 10% or less? There are many who do not give thanks to God because, in fact, it often seems that the more we have, the less gratitude we feel. We are called to be His disciples. That is, to live out our lives with discipleship and faith to Christ. But what does this mean? What does it mean to follow Jesus? The cost of discipleship is linked to what we are doing today. Eating with thanksgiving. Eating of the bountiful harvest is different than what Jesus referred to in John 6. Because when you think about Thanksgiving, it marks the end of summer and preparations for autumn and winter move into full gear. Cottages and trailers are closed for the winter, boats are put into storage, pools are closed and covered, and garden furniture is stored away. Yet when we think about the reason we celebrate Thanksgiving, it is because farmers will have or will soon be completing their work, bringing in the fruits of the harvest, enabling us to feast with friends and family. Good food is plentiful, and the opportunity to share with others is reason to celebrate. There might also be pastries and fruit and pie, but at the heart of many feasts are bread, different kinds of bread. Gluten-free, flat, pumpernickel, rye, oat corn, all have different place in the history and traditions of each family. But they serve the same purpose, the basis of most meals. In John 6, Jesus had fed the crowd of thousands and had slipped away from them. He wanted to be alone. His disciples had also left him, and yet the people searched for him. What did they want? They were supposed to go home after eating the meal that Jesus had provided. Jesus is exhausted. He's been teaching all day. He's fed the crowd. Now, what if they still want his attention? And he tells them straight up, you're looking for me not because you saw what I did, but because you are full of physical food. Don't work for food that perishes, but you should be working for food that will endure for eternal life. What were the people seeing Jesus? What were they seeing in him? As a means of free food? For physical needs? Or what did they really want from him? Did they want to learn more about him, following his teachings and knowing him not only as the Son of Man, but as the Son of God? Why did they ask, what must we do to perform the works of God? They wanted to be like him. He responded by saying, believing in him, the one he has sent. What are we doing? What are we doing? As we say we are the disciples of Jesus Christ, we belong to him, we are his. What sign are we giving that we are truly Christians, followers of Christ? The people Jesus was speaking to said, well, the Jewish ancestors ate the manna in the wilderness because they said it came from Moses. And Jesus, no, it wasn't Moses. It was God the Father who gave it to them. And the bread of God is that which comes down from heaven and gives life to each one of us. But they wanted the bread that was consumed and looked for a next meal. They really weren't sure who they wanted or what from Jesus. Jesus says, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never be hungry. We know that we're going to eat today, we're going to eat tomorrow, and we're going to eat at least 2 or 3 times a day because we have that ability here in this city. But Jesus says there will be a time, if you truly believe in me, you will never be hungry, you will never be thirsty, because I give you life in its fullness. Not for your physical needs will you have to search for food or water, but you have life in me. This is the reason why we're called to be his disciples. How are we to understand this today when we know that there's abundance in our stores? And when we think about people not knowing who Christ is, how do we share the message? We must say we are disciples in faith and we are his. We believe in Christ as the bread of life that sustains us not just when our stomachs need refilling, but whenever and under many circumstances we find ourselves, we need him. Jesus is the bread of life that will nourish us when we question ourselves, when we look to God for healing for self and others, and even when we pause to say, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being a part of Christ Church. We belong together. We serve Christ together. Thank you. We are Christ because of faith, and now we must in turn give thanks to God for his many blessings. And you are blessings one to another through Jesus Christ. Because you belong to him, you are his. As we reflect on our commitment to being a part of Christ Church, we give thanks. But we also remember what Jesus did. He says, I am the bread of life. Follow me. You will never be hungry and thirsty again, for you will be nurtured in faith and love forever. Be mine. Follow me. This is what we are called to do as disciples of Jesus Christ. This is something for which we should be grateful for, because we have the opportunity to be the feet and hands of Jesus Christ. So let us remember this. For as we sing our next hymn, we're going to share it in prayer as we understand what it means to take up the cross of Jesus Christ, to give thanks and praise to God who so deserves everything. Let us remember this. And let us be more than that 10% of the time and of the people, and give God thanks all the time. Let us sing together. Our hymn.